Hello everyone, I want to do a quick share of a journal that I made for one of my lovely pen pals that I met over on the Junk Journal Junkies International Pen Pal group. And I made this journal specifically for her, and it is themed the Rocky Mountain National Park. My pen pal Mary she's a hiker, she's a runner, she's completely inspiring, and I wanted to make something that was very personal. Now the cover I did is very much inspired by Nick the Booksmith. This is kind of her style, and I mimicked that because it's so lovely and she's so super talented. So I've been working on this for a while. It took me a while to gather all of the things I really needed for this to make it very personal for Mary. But there's the cover. I did it like a hunter green. It's got like the sari silk closure. And I've also put it on here. I've put this twine, make it look a little bit rustic. Now on here I put some charms. This says live your dream. This one has an M for Mary, and this is an antique compass, and it works. Super old, and I thought it was just gorgeous for the outside of this journal. There's 6 signatures in here. It kind of got away on me. It's super chunky, and I know that Mary will have fun collecting more stuff and adding to it, so I kind of had to stop at some point. Now this is Tim Holtz paper. The collection of scrapbook paper I used in here was from the Paper House, the Great Outdoors paper pack. It's it's got trails, woodlands, hiking, everything, which was completely what I needed for this. So we'll start here. The mountains are calling and I must go. So I'll just very much flip through. I have a huge collection of real vintage postcards dating back as far as 1933 throughout this whole book. I've got some ephemera, scrapbook ephemera that went really well. I've got the Edith Holden pages in here. I've used July and September of the pages because Mary and her husband's anniversary is in July and her birthday is coming up in September. So I'll just flip through and just tell you a little bit. I've gotten some of these printouts from some Etsy sellers, which I will try to remember to link in the description box in the bottom. This is a real vintage page from the Rocky Mountain National Park. It's a map. It was from the 1950s, I believe. So I added that in there. I've added some mountain washi. The whole book is fairly tea stained. Here's another printout of the Rocky Mountain National Park from 1959. I've added tons of ephemera in here that have to do with adventure. This is an old field notes guide I had for different areas of North America that have butterflies and different insects and stuff that would be indigenous to the mountain area. I've done some stamping. That is a Tim Holtz stamp with some tea-dyed ledger. I've added some of the Tim Holtz botanicals layers throughout the book as well. That's the Ideology botanicals, this pack. I've added a few of those just to add to it. This is a vintage playing card. It's the mountains, little compass. I've used a little bit of my washies that I had that would go well with botanicals. Here's another vintage Estates Park from Colorado. It's funny that I'm using a lot of the Colorado National Park stuff in here in a book inspired by Nick the Booksmith, because that's where Nick is from, Colorado. Here's some more of these old book pages of the insect and butterfly field note guides. This is more of the Tim Holtz. It's a tuck spot. More pages from that book. I've done a few tabs. Now I know Mary is very creative and she sews, and she will totally embellish this book on top of what I'm doing or pull out some of the things. Now some of the things I've added in here that she can use is I found these really awesome badges. They will go great on a jacket or a sweater. Rocky Mountain National Park, States, Colorado. There is another one in here. I made sure that I got 2 different ones, one for her and her husband. I've made some different journaling tags. This one is a road map from the States. This one's Colorado. There's some more of that Rocky Mountain National Park book. It's kind of like a field guide for visiting, like a pamphlet sort of thing. Now this is a 7 Gypsies tag, but look at this paper. Looks like birch bark, and this looks like it has trails. Some more ephemera here. This is some real ephemera. I was lucky enough to get in on Saturday AM Vintage, her Flash Friday sales and on Instagram, and I got some really cool stuff. Now this one's from Missouri, and this stuff's super old, but I got quite a nice little box of ephemera. And there's some more. She's Mary's from Illinois, so this is Illinois to Missouri road map collection. It's just some tags that I made. We can journal on them. I'm gonna go. Oh, this is another printout I got from an Etsy seller. It is a list of the Colorado 14ers, and it is all of the different peaks that you can hike and climb. There's 14. It's like a checklist. There's some more washi there with some mushrooms. Enjoy the beauty of the mountains. This is another clip art from an Etsy seller. Here's another view of the Rocky Mountains from that book that I had. Here is, there's a collection of these in here. It is called it's an old from the 1970s, this Rocky Mountain Wildflowers book. It's so gorgeous. Super old, but it's in really great condition. And there's quite a few of those pages in here. It's got beautiful flowers on it. There's some more that Edith holds on the other side of it. So there's lots of space to write. This is also from an Etsy seller. This was so fun. It's got some line pages, but it's got the mountains here. So I've put quite a bit of it through there as well. This here is a pocket, a road map of the States, and it's got tons of ephemera in there that Mary can embellish this further. Some more of the lined pages. There are some tabs at the top of this lace. Make sure I'm in frame here for you guys. Isn't that gorgeous? There's some more of the mountains. I really hope that Mary enjoys this book. I've been working on it long enough. I feel terrible that it's taken me this so long to do this. I hope she's surprised. This is like a little wallet, a road trip wallet. I like this little ephemera. It says Camp Run Amok. I thought that was cute. It's like a little wallet, and it's got an old vintage playing card, and it says stop for refuel and another ticket. Super fun stuff. More scrapbooking paper. This is a Tim Holtz ephemera. Tim Holtz vellum. This would be lots of space for her to write and put pictures. This is a 7 Gypsies journaling tag. Here is a pocket, and it's got more ephemera in it. I'm not going to pull it all out because I want Mary to be surprised. And this is also a very old, super old. This is, I can't even get the date on it. I think it's from the 30s. It's a whole pack. There was like 12 or 14 postcards in here of the Rocky Mountain National Park. It was 2 cents for this whole pack, so you can imagine how old that is. Oops, that'll be delicate. I like the little deers. This is also a Tim Holtz stamp camera. This is also another printout from an Etsy seller. I doubled it up so that it would be 1 page, and you can just date the weather, location, and details of your hike. Tim Holtz paper. Here is yet another vintage postcard. This one is unused. You can tell by the image that it's very old. Now these ones are almost like, postcards are very much like, this is the Pines. It's like an old photograph, but this one is 1933 stamped. Super cool. And it also, when I got it, I found this one at the same time. This one is not used. But same time frame, I'm assuming. There's a pocket there. Oh, here's the other badge that I found. This one is Trail Ridge Road, Rocky Mountain National Park. So that gives both Mary and her husband each one. She can use them either in another book or keep them in the book or put them on her jacket when she goes there. The scrapbook paper is so neat. It's like, it's not, I don't think it's anywhere specific, but it certainly goes really well with this book. This is also some clip art. This one's Climb. This is an Edith Holden postcard, image of one of her images from 1989. This one was made, printed anyway. Some music paper. This is another super old one here. I can't get a date on it, but you can tell. I mean, it's a little sturdier, that cardboard, but the image is certainly old. Now we're into the Edith Holden pages that are from September. Here is some more ephemera that I got from Saturday AM Vintage. This is another postcard. This one is 1939. Postmarked Pikes Peak. Summit of Pikes Peak, August 6th. Super cool. I hope Mary enjoys looking at those. I'm pretty sure I've seen a few pictures on her Instagram of some of these places, so it would be really neat for her to compare. Ephemera. Here is another pocket. This is a Seven Gypsies tag or journaling card. It looks like a pair of blue jeans. This is the Rockies. This is an envelope that she could use for another project. This is another tuck spot here. I've used some of this moth or butterfly washi tape. Here's our outdoor adventure. This is another tuck spot. I love this Trailhead Falls. Take a hike and keep going. Lots of more here. 1940 something or other. Denver, another Colorado Peaks region there. I've done some stamping for her to use these up in this book or other projects. Here's some more clip art I got off an Etsy seller. Back to Nature. I really love this one. It's very rustic and it doesn't print out all perfect. It looks, you could actually use that on something else. It would look good on a t-shirt if it was printed out. Here is a whole little pack of tags that I printed up. Look at this stamp, isn't that cute? Little mountains. Some more of the road map. Photo mats. Another vintage postcard. This one's not used. Some more of those mountains and a compass. I also included in here a couple more charms for Mary to use. This one is another compass. We got a little leaf. And this one she could use on a necklace. It's really it says the mountains are calling. I'm not sure if you could see that, but put that over here. But anyway, I just wanted to do that share. Oh, there's some more vintage. This has got some birds. I'm trying to think now how birds and butterflies. I think this book is from the 50s. I don't have it on hand. Let's see. I think it's something like this. Super old. This one here was pulled a few pages from it. This one's in 1964. But I've got a huge collection of these books, and I like to pull a few pages out from them and use them in some of my journals. Oops. No, everything's going to fall off my table. Here's another little tuck spot. The mountains are calling and I must go. And here we are back to the Tim Holtz paper that I used on the front of the book. Anyway, I want to get this mailed out to Mary, sweet Mary. I hope she loves it. If you have any comments or feedback, give me a shout. And for now, take care. Talk to you soon.